Alright, so this is take two. I didn't think it was possible, but I successfully talked about a piece of steel that I drive into wood for about 15 minutes, and YouTube won't let me upload anything more than 9. So let's try to condense this and let's do this. So this is the first, going to be the first video of cutting tools in my What's in My Pack series. So I prefer to use a tomahawk rather than a hatchet or an axe. I don't require the weight to carry the weight of an axe because I'm not falling trees or anything like that. I'm mostly a scrounger. Also, I may upload the video that I had recorded prior that tells you how I lost a quarter of my finger. But suffice to say, I also don't like the short range of a tomahawk, the short handle, or of a hatchet. So that's why I decided on the 19-inch handle of the tomahawk. As far as maker goes, there's a multitude of decent manufacturers out there. A tomahawk is a tomahawk is a tomahawk is a tomahawk. Some are more expensive because they're more pretty. Others, this one I chose is the CRKT Chogan, the Woods Chogan. It's based on a trade axe from the 17th century or 18th century. It's what you would consider when you say tomahawk. The mask here is separately purchased. All right, it's going to cost you about 20-25 bucks. In my opinion, a mask is always mandatory. When this thing ships, it ships with a small piece of leather, much like a skate guard that you would get on a pair of ice skates. It's not sufficient to protect you, especially from hard use in the woods. If you can do Kydex, it's great. I like leather because leather is repairable. Kydex is probably more durable, but the material's up to you. Overall, the head is a fairly solid head. I've never had any problems with it. It's got a good weight to it. I don't know what it weighs in, a pound and something. Anyways, you've got two edges on here. When this thing ships, there's absolutely no cutting edge on it. There's the bevel, but they purposely leave it blunt for you to sharpen for liability purposes. I suggest going and finding someone who does knives and getting them to put the initial edge on so that you have a good solid edge to follow when you freehand sharpen, because that's the only way to sharpen an axe, hatchet, tomahawk. This blade, this edge here, I don't know why it's here. I'm sure it's for a reason. I never sharpened it. Never have found a need to sharpen it. You can if you want, I guess, but either way. The handle is a 19-inch piece of hickory. No knots. Mine had no knots, no splits, no sap pockets, no nothing. It was a good solid piece of hickory. One thing you're going to want to do when you first get this is you are going to want to deburr and polish the inside edge of the head where it meets the handle. Because if there's any burrs or it's a sharp 90-degree edge, this head will shave all the wood off your handle. So, and you'll end up like mine, all the way run out to the end because it's shaved all the way up to the top. What else to say? 19-inch handle, hickory. It's got a nice finish on it. Right out of the box, you have no wrappings or nothing. So it's a standard tomahawk. The finish is quite slippery. So one of the reasons why I put wraps on down by the handle is because the varnish or the shellac that they use on the handle is very slippery. So when your hands get sweaty in the summer, you run the risk of having this thing come out of your hand. I found it very uncomfortable and unwieldy to use when my hands were wet. So I threw a wrap on it, just a simple bank line wrap. The other wrap I threw on because my head was starting to shave its way up to the top. So I forcefully put the head on and tied it in place. Orange paracord so that you can see it in the woods. And It is throwable. I've got a few videos that aren't exactly PG-13 of my son throwing this. It's quite throwable. It's almost like throwing a pipe hawk, but or a cold steel pipe hawk, but it's a little bit heavier. So you got to release just a little bit earlier. Lob it in instead of throw it in. Beyond that, this is going to be, like I said, this is going to be the first video. The next video we're going to do is we're going to do on my Becker BK2 that I modded, and I'll give you my quick impressions on it. All right? Talk to you soon, guys.